Hi everyone, welcome back to Storytime with Grandma. I am so pleased to see so many of you back again. I've got some new faces here, and some of you were here with us last time. I see Mary and Nina and Royce and RJ and Bailey and Riley and Lindsay and William and Peyton and Christian and Daniel and Bennett and Natalie, I see you, and Ivy, and Brooklyn, and Chelsea, and Jesse, and Sam, and baby Lincoln, and Avi, and Maya, and Sila, and Alexa, and Zelia, and Tracy. Hi, Trace. And Alyssa, and Nicholas, I see you, and Liv, and Corbin, Noah, and Jules, and Cam, and Graham, and Oliver, and McKinley, and Joanna, and Avery, and Ella. Logan and Braden, and I see Kyler and Kaden are back, and Jason and Barrett, and I see Chastity and Colton and Connor and Jaden, and I see Jolene and Eloise, and so many more of you, and we'll call you out next week for sure. I have a super special book to read this week, but I was also thinking that if you subscribe to this channel, and then it allows you to leave a comment, and if you tell me what some of your favorite books are, we can work those in, and Grandma can read those in the upcoming week. So I like to share my special books with you, and I would love for you to share your favorite books with me. And as you can see, I chose the beach again today. It was a beautiful day. It's my favorite place to read. And so I hope you're all snuggled in one of your favorite places to read as well. So get comfortable and let's start story time with Grandma. This week, I have a special book that was read to me a few months ago. The name of the book is Rosie Revere, Engineer. The author, or the person that wrote the book, her name is Andrea Beatty, and illustrated, or the pictures were drawn by David Roberts. So they've done a beautiful job on this book, and let's see what it's all about. Rosie Revere, Engineer. This is the story of Rosie Revere, who dreamed of becoming a great engineer. In Lila Greer's classroom at Blue River Creek, young Rosie sat shyly, not daring to speak. She sat there just shy, little girl. Are some of you shy? It's okay to be shy. But when no one saw her, she peeked in the trash for treasures to add to her engineer's stash. And late at night, Rosie rolled up her sleeves and built in her hideaway under the eaves. Looks like she's getting lots of treasures in there, doesn't it? Oh my goodness, look at this room. Look at that. Alone in her attic, the moon high above, dear Rosie made gadgets and gizmos she loved. And when she grew sleepy, she hid her machines far under the bed where they'd never be seen. Do you hide things under your bed? When Rosie was young, she had not been so shy. She worked with her hair swooping over one eye, and made fine inventions for uncles and aunts, a hot dog dispenser and helium pants. Look at that. What would you do with helium pants? And this hot dog dispenser, I think she made with me in mind, because I love mustard on my hot dogs. So that would be a great invention for Rosie to make for Grandma. The uncle she loved most was zookeeper Fred. She made him a hat to keep snakes off his head. I think I need one of those. From parts of a fan and some cheddar cheese spray, which everyone knows keeps pythons away. Look at that hat. And when it was finished, young Rosie was proud, but Fred slapped his knee and he chuckled out loud. He laughed till he wheezed and his eyes filled with tears, all to the horror of Rosie Revere, who stood there embarrassed, perplexed, and dismayed. She looked at the cheese hat and then looked away. I love it, Fred hooted. Oh, truly I do. But Rosie Revere knew that could not be true. She stuck the cheese hat on the back of her shelf, and after that day, kept her dreams to herself. And that's how it went until one autumn day her oldest relation showed up for a stay. Her great great Aunt Rose was a true dynamo who'd worked building airplanes a long time ago. She told Rosie tales of the things she had done and the goals she had checked off her list one by one. She gave a sad smile as she looked to the sky. The only thrill left on my list is to fly. But time never lingers as long as it seems. I'll check that one off to old lady's dreams. That night, as Rosie laid wide-eyed in bed, a daring idea crept into her head. Could she build a gizmo to help her aunt fly? She looked at the cheese hat and said, "No, not I." But questions are tricky and some hold on tight, and this one kept Rosie awake through the night. So when dawn approached and red streaks lit the sky, young Rosie knew just how to make her aunt fly. Oh my goodness. What does she have in mind? She worked and worked till the day was half gone, then hauled her cheese copter out on the lawn to give her invention a test just to see the ridiculous flop it might turn out to be. There's the cheese copter. Cheese copter. Strapped into the cockpit, she flipped on the switch. The helio cheese copter sputtered and twitched. It floated a moment and whirled round and round, then froze for a heartbeat and crashed to the ground. Then Rosie heard laughter and turned round to see the old woman laughing and slapping her knee. She laughed till she wheezed and her eyes filled with tears, all to the horror of Rosie Revere, who thought, "Oh no, never, not ever again will I try to build something to sputter or spin, or build with a lever, a switch, or a gear, and never will I be a great engineer." She turned round to leave, but then great great Aunt Rose grabbed hold of young Rosie and pulled her in close and hugged her and kissed her and started to cry. "You did it! Hooray! It's the perfect first try. This great flop is over. It's time for the next." Young Rosie was baffled, embarrassed, perplexed. "I failed," said dear Rosie. "It's just made of trash. Didn't you see it? The cheese copter crashed." "Yes," said her great aunt, "it crashed, this is true, but first it did just what it needed to do. Before it crashed, Rosie, before that, it flew. Your brilliant first flop was a raging success. Come on now, let's get busy and on to the next." She handed a notebook to Rosie Revere, who smiled at her aunt as it all became clear. Life might have its failures, but this was not it. The only true failure can come if you quit. That's a big point. They worked till the sun sneaked away to its bed. Aunt Rosie tied her headscarf around Rosie's head and sent her to sleep with a smile ear to ear to dream the bold dream of a great engineer. At Blue River Creek, all the kids in grade 2 build gidgets and gadgets and doohickeys too. With each perfect failure, they all stand and cheer, but none quite as proudly as Rosie Revere. And that is the end of our story today. But what a great message. So what Rosie found was that she was trying something, didn't work the first time. She failed. You're all going to fail. You're going to try things that they're not going to work out. You might not have the right things, the right parts. You might not have done the right research or spent enough time to make it just right. But if you quit, that's your first failure. That's when you fail, is when you quit. So don't quit. Don't give up. Keep trying, keep making adjustments, and eventually it's going to happen because you all, and I want you to remember this, you're all very bright, you're all smart, you're all brave, beautiful and handsome, and you can do anything. Just like Rosie Revere, you can do anything. So don't give up. Don't quit. You're going to fail and it's okay. All right, so subscribe to the channel. Give me some great ideas for books. I have a few more that I want to read to you, but I will circle your suggestions in as we go forward. And again, thank you for being here. It was great to spend this time with you guys. I love you all, and I'll see you next time. Mwah. Bye.